Welcome everyone to our weekly EFT tapping gathering. And yeah, what a time to be alive, huh? It's really, really interesting. And yeah, I felt really pretty strongly, and I did put a poll in the Angels Alchemy and Human Design group, but it felt like the focus really needs to be around anxiety around the future, concerns about the election, and just staying sane through it all and grounded, more importantly. It's been a week, and obviously it's not over, and regardless, my intention is certainly not to get political, because my job, as I see it, is to really be the expression of love, and acceptance and compassion for everybody. And that's not a political thing. That's an all-inclusive kind of thing. So I want to emphasize, I'm looking at my notes because, to be honest, I did not sleep as well last night, as I'm sure many didn't. So just need my notes here. So emphasize that we all are going to handle this differently. So we're all sensitive. If you're showing up here, it means that you are a light being. It means that you are here to continue the process of evolution and to grow and to learn and to expand. And that means that you're sensitive. And we all experience that sensitivity in different ways and that are unique to us. And some of us are going to want to, and I'm sure, I know that human design plays a role here, but leaving that aside for the moment, some of us are going to want to hide. We're going to want to be reclusive. We're going to want to become more introverted. Some of us are going to need to talk it out. We're going to need to really connect with somebody else and just express how we're feeling. Some of us are going to need to my brother's one of these, so I've been saving my energy for when I'm ready to actually talk to him, because he's going to want to go over and over and over the process and just ruminate until he gets some sense of foundation. And I think for everybody, just getting outside and connecting with the earth and being in that space of gratitude and prayer and meditation are really important keys here. So getting to our card, let me just check and make sure that we're good everywhere. Our card for this week is from the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Love this deck. And the card that came forward is the Wolf Moon, and it's about hunger. Or it's actually, I shouldn't say that. It's the Wolf Moon is also known as the Hunger Moon. It's also known as the Snow Moon. It's the first, or it's actually the second full moon after winter has begun. So winter begins on December 21st or 22nd. It kind of depends on the year, but this year it's the 21st. And the Wolf Moon is the second full moon following the winter solstice. Now, what I saw in this card immediately was this need to just express your emotions in this primal kind of way as is needed. So howling at the moon, crying if you need to, screaming at the wind, whatever it is that you need to get it out. This is about getting it out and not holding back, because as you see, this wolf is just, it's not holding back, it's giving it all up to the full moon. And that's really what we're all being encouraged and invited to do here. I do want to just quickly share too what's in the book, because this moon also represents the cycles of abundance, because it happens in January. It's called the Hunger Moon because food is scarce. And so there is a message about cycles here. And you may have heard this story. It's beautiful. An old wise Cherokee of the First Nations of the U.S. is speaking to his grandson about life. The young boy asks his father, "It is said, grandfather, that everyone who has two wolves within them. The first wolf gives darkness, despair, and hate, and jealousy, and sorrow. The second wolf gives light and hope and helpfulness and kindness. Yet, grandfather, I feel them fighting within me. What can I do? My small son, these two wolves will always fight, and they will fight within each person. You are no different, said the grandfather. But, said the boy, Grandfather, which wolf will win? And the grandfather answers, whichever wolf you feed. So that's a fairly well-known tale, but I think it's such an important message for right now that we continue to feed the wolf that is kind, that is compassion, that is sitting in gratitude and grace. So let us move on to, and for those of you who are on Zoom, if you have anything that comes up, please do share as you have in the past. And we'll get right to our tapping for today. All right. And once again, just do this however it works best for you. You can repeat after me. I give space for you to repeat the words. You can just sit and listen and absorb and release. You can take the theme and use your own words as they come through for you. Tapping on the outside of the hand. Even though I am so anxious and nervous about this election, that I don't know what to do with myself. I feel overwhelmed and undone. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I am scared about the outcome of this election, because bad things could happen, no matter who wins. And that makes me feel trapped in fear. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though it scares the shit out of me, what's going on in our country. There is so much pain and violence and corruption that I don't know how I can go on and stay in faith. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tapping the inside of the eyes, too scared to stay in faith. Too scared to stay in faith. Terrified about what's going on in the world and what's going to happen with this election. Gives me no foundation because it looks scary no matter what. And I don't know what that means for me. I don't know what that means for my loved ones. Scared about this election and what it means for all of us. And that fear takes me out of faith. Faith that all is in divine order. And that I am being called to feed that wolf. The wolf of faith and kindness and compassion. top of the head. And so I release this fear and give it to you, dear angels, because I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. So once again, just breathe into that release. We're going to get more on the personal here. I was guided to start with the election, and we're going to move into anxiety, personal anxiety, with the next couple of setups here. So again, as you guys who are on, if you have anything that comes up, please jump in. All right. So let's do this. Tapping the outside of the hand. Even though I am terrified about what the future is going to bring, with my job, with my health, with my family. And it keeps me awake at night because I'm scared. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I can feel this terror and fear living in my body, as I clench and I ache and I hurt inside, I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though all this hurt inside has been there for a long time, and a part of me has always been scared of the future and what it might bring. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Inside of the eyes, terrified about the future, about financial stability for me, for my children, for my loved ones. I'm worried about my health because this hurt has been living inside for a long time. This hurt wanting certainty, wanting the future to be known, wanting things to be different, craving to know. When the truth is, we never know what the future will bring. And all we have is the present. So living in the here and now is my choice. Top of the head, and I release all fears and anxieties. Because I deeply and I completely love, forgive, and accept myself. So I would love to know from you guys who are on live, what parts of this have stood out for you, or yeah, feel like they're getting at something for you, because I feel like I need a little bit of input for the third piece, the part about emotions being there for a long time. Yeah. What emotions specifically? Fear of the future? Anxiety? And yes, control of the future. Yes. Yep. Yeah. And so I'm also, yeah, because I'm always about the pendulums. My read is that a lot of this, and where we're going to go next, and so thank you for that feedback back, is that, a lot of this we picked up from our parents, from our families, from our ancestors. Yeah, living inside you for so king, but I think you mean long. Yes, yes. Trusted my angels, but I feel like that wolf just looking at the moon and thinking, what the heck is going on? Yeah, feeling trapped in emotions being there, even before this period of time, specifically financial fear of the future. Right. So for the beautiful earth angel that wrote king instead of long, or it auto corrected, in angel land, right, we always take these as messages. So the fact, I love that actually, because what that means is that to me is a message about giving these emotions authority, and not consciously. I mean, I don't think we would ever consciously give fear and anxiety about the future authority and rulership over us, but that's what that feels very relevant, you know. Okay, thank you. This is very helpful. So let's do another round, and yes. Just getting my notes here. Tapping on the outside of the hand. Even though a part of me feels betrayed by my angels and by myself, because I've given authority to these fears and these anxieties about the future for so very long. And that makes me angry. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though I have felt so trapped for so long and believed that controlling things would actually help, when in fact that just gets in the way. I've betrayed myself. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Even though a part of me is so angry at me right now, because I've allowed this fear of the future and my need to control to be going on for so long, because it's what I learned when I was young and impressionable. I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. Tapping the inside of the eyes, feeling like I betrayed myself. I've allowed these emotions to rule. I've allowed my craving for control to rule. These fears have been there forever. And I know that I inherited a lot of this because my parents were scared of the future. And others around me were scared of the future. So that's just what I learned. I learned not to be in the present. I learned to be thinking about the past and obsessing about the future, when my real task is to just stay here, now, in the present. Because in this moment, I know I am safe and I am loved. Top of the head, and I deeply and completely love, forgive, and accept myself. So when you get a chance, let me know how you're doing. And if you're on Facebook Live, I am monitoring the comments over on my other laptop here. So that ended up going in a direction I didn't expect with the whole betrayal thing, but it felt like a very strong theme. And typically we just do one set of 3 rounds. If we need to do one more round of EFT, I said that in a confusing way. Usually we do 3 setups. And if you guys are feeling a need for a 4th, we can certainly do that. Oddly, I feel empty. That actually sounds like a really lovely thing. You know, there's this whole, I want to say Buddhist, but I'm a little bit foggy this morning. But there's this whole thing about emptiness being like this state of that we strive to attain. Very grounded and peaceful. Good, good, good. So it sounds like you guys are feeling complete and ready to go to the affirmation. Is that true? Anybody feeling a need for another? Sounds like you guys are good. Okay. All right. So tapping on the outside of the hand. I am gentle. I am loving. I am kind to me. I forgive myself wholly and completely and release all that is ready to go. As I stay in the present moment and sit in the lovely energy of forgiveness and acceptance and love of me. I love me. Beautiful. Thank you, lovelies, for joining me here again today. And just be gentle. I got such a strong message, you know, not just the primal letting out the message, the emotions, and feeding the wolf, basically, you know, really living the reality that you want to create. So being the expression of kindness and compassion and grace in the world is so what we need right now. And this is a challenging time, so be gentle with yourself. Direct that kindness and compassion at you. So with that, so much love, blessings, be well. Love you guys. See you next week.